President Trump's attorneys, they are vowing to launch an unprecedented legal battle over this election.
Yeah, President Trump refusing to concede to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. With us now to walk us through the legal challenges ahead, CUNY law professor Natalie Velez. So thank you for joining us this morning, Natalie. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good morning.
So Rudy Giuliani this weekend said that they are planning about 10 different lawsuits in various states: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, which already failed. Do any of these have any evidence to your knowledge?
I haven't seen the lawsuits yet, but if they're anything like the lawsuits that have already been filed, they're addressing sort of minor issues. There really isn't evidence of widespread fraud that he seems to be talking about. There may be smaller issues, 53 ballots here, a few ballots there. So we'll have to see, but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot there. If there were evidence, they would be coming forward with it. I haven't heard of any real evidence to support it, and it almost sounds like there are political factors more than legal issues at play here.
Well, Natalie, some Republicans are pointing to Michigan County, Michigan in particular, where several thousand votes that were for Trump were counted for Biden. That same software that did that was used in 47 different counties in Michigan. And Senator Ted Cruz says, you know what, this could end up at the Supreme Court. So given some of this, I mean, do you think this will end up there?
I doubt it. I mean, based on the evidence in that case, my understanding is that where there was a discrepancy, it was corrected in that instance. And then the question usually on these kinds of issues with whether the count was valid, et cetera, start in state court. You know, they go to the questions of state law. What does the state law say about how ballots are to be counted? And, you know, it's kind of a leap. You have to have certain federal questions at play, you know, before you would get it into the Supreme Court. And again, it's discretionary and would have to go through many steps of a legal process to get there in a case like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because on one hand, you have Rudy Giuliani saying that there seems to be widespread voter fraud. The president has kind of followed through with that. Then the president tweeting out that this is a mail-in ballot hoax, that mail-in ballots just shouldn't have been counted. So nothing really seems to match up, and even in terms of which way they're going here. But let me ask you this. With these lawsuits, could the certification of the election be delayed?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the concerns is that, you know, if they don't acknowledge the Biden-Harris win, if they continue to contest, and some of the things are okay, you know, like if a recount is called for, you do the recount, fine. But, you know, this continuation of kind of raising up concerns about the election, it can delay the time, and maybe that's what they're after, but I don't see the end game here as one that really changes the outcome.
I think that for many, they see the end game just to be that they're going to delegitimize the fact that Joe Biden won, and just kind of sow that into people's minds for the next 4 years that there was a problem with the vote overall.
You know, he's calling it a hoax.
And that's really dangerous. You know, that's really dangerous. And, you know, there's some concern also being raised about the transition, about not moving forward with the transition. You know, especially during a pandemic, I think it's really important for us to have a smooth transition, both so that the country keeps running as effectively as possible, for national security reasons, for a whole host of reasons. So I hope that this gets resolved and cooler heads prevail on this.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of talk. I mean, Rudy Giuliani suggesting Pennsylvania's election results should be set aside. I mean, we'll have to dive into that at a later time because we are simply out of time. But there's a lot on the table here, a lot of allegations flying everywhere. Natalie, thank you for helping us sort through some of it.
Pleasure. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Always
as well.
good to see you, Natalie.